Ladies and gentlemen, I do put the paper here. Okay. I'm new in the Directorate of Traffic, and I'm now the Acting Director, Traffic and Road Safety. Today, I want to address two issues. One is vehicle registration, and two, the issue concerning the driving schools in Uganda. I'll begin with the first issue that concerns enforcement. When you buy a vehicle, you are supposed to change ownership. The one who has sold you a vehicle and you, the buyer, after 14 days, you are supposed to change and transfer ownership. Failure to do that, you commit a traffic and road safety offense. Once a vehicle is disposed of as a scrap and you sell it to a garage owner, I repeat, once a vehicle is disposed of as a scrap and you sell it to the garage owner, you are supposed to take back the plates, registration plates, to the licensing authority. Failure to do that, you commit a serious offense. Therefore, I take this opportunity to warn garage owners that beginning today, if you know you are in possession of registration numbers God throws you by as scrap, you are instructed to take them to the licensing authority immediately. If we get you in your garage with those number plates, we shall charge you and you shall pay a fine not exceeding 300 currency points. And that is a fine in Ugandan shillings, a fine not exceeding 6 million shillings. This should be taken seriously by those owners of garages in the whole country, that the law of not surrendering those plates to the licensing authority will soon catch up with them. 2, all vehicle owners should ensure that they register their vehicles in their names, proper names with the telephone contacts. Those who have not done it should do it. Police is in the process of automating traffic systems, and enforcement will follow the automated systems. Therefore, in order for traffic police to enforce using the number plate recognition cameras on our roads, all vehicles should be registered in their own, in the names of owners. If you have not done so, then the law later will catch up with you and you will also pay a fine. I have noticed that there are some vehicles that still use the old logbook, which was a card logbook. Those logbooks are obsolete. You are supposed to transfer to the e-system, logbook, such that in case you are to get insurance, the insurance industry does not recognize the card logbook. So soon you will go to pay insurance cover of your vehicle and the systems will not read your vehicle. So I appeal to those owners of vehicles in the old card system of logbook to transfer to e-logbook, and it should also take immediate effect. In case the one who sold you a vehicle is dead, you are supposed to undergo a certain process where you will get the death certificate, attach it to the forms, and then after the advert in the news, then you take them to court and court will order URA to change the old system to the new system. This concerns the buyer and the seller. In other words, I'm insisting, when you buy and you get an agreement, you sign an agreement with the buyer, with the seller of the vehicle, then that agreement expires after 14 days. Many vehicles are being driven on handwritten agreements which should cease. The second issue I want us to address ourselves to is the issue of driving schools that operate without licenses and their instructors instruct without licenses. This one should also stop. And I appeal to those who own those driving schools to immediately go to the licensing authority and get the licenses. However, in order to qualify for these licenses, and in case they cannot perform their duty and they need assistance, police is ready to help them in designing the curriculum, designing the syllabi, and also instructional material. If they cannot do that, we are ready to help them, such that the products of the drivers that come out of these training schools can be efficient and not cause road crashes as it is common these days. So those are the two issues I had wanted us to get, and I think this is my end of my briefing. Luganda. I have been out of Luganda. I've been out of the system. I will try olwaleero tujja kulaba ebintu bibiri ebikwata ku mateeka g'enguudo n'abavuzi abavuga motoka zino ezisaabaza abasaabazi. Waliwo driving schools ezisomesa abayizi tezirina ebisanyirizo. Ezo license ziva mu Ministry of Works, bagende bajeeyo license ezo basomese abavuzi ba motoka bulungi. Kati bw'oba oyagala kufuna license ezo waliwo ebintu ebyoyitamu nebyosobola kuba olina. Ekyokusooka, motoka zo ezolina ziriko driving school, baziwa ekibayita ekiwandiiko ekizisoboza kubeera ngu ozikozesa kusomesa, ekyo bakiyita certificate of fitness. Osobola kuba olina ekisaawe kutendekera abadereva okuvuga. Osobola kuba olina classroom awo osomeseza abayizi, si office yo oba awalala mu shed. Waliwo ebibasomeseza ebintu ebyokozesa kusomesa abayizi, twagala obeeke mu class eyo bw'oba waliwo omuntu ojja asobola kubiraba ng'obisa. Twagala obeere n'ekitabu ekikugaidinga okusomesa, si kusomeseza mu mutwe ogwolinaawo. Waliwo ebitabo ebikugamba omuvuzi wa motoka bamusomesa bwe bati. Ebitabo ebyo tubyagala ng'oba obirina. Bw'oba badereva bamaze kusoma, waliwo ekiwandiiko ekyobawa. Ebyo fayiro eyo erina ebiwandiiko ebyo twagala ngu tugirabe, tuteekeko emitendera mu kusomesa badereva baffe, tulabe ngu balina information ebasoboza kuvuga ku luguudo lwaffe, ku nguudo zaffe wanu. Pointi eyokubiri, ndabula abalina garagi bajja enamba za motoka ku motoka ezo ezibaguze baziyita scrap. Enamba ezo za motoka ezibeera mu garagi, namba ezo bazitwale mu Ministry of Works. Kubakwata fine ibasasula sente nyingi of Works sizo. Uyo oguze n'oyo owagula amateeka gabakwata mwona bw'obe namba ezo temuzitute mu Ministry of Works. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Barange endagaano eyo yimusayininga mugula motoka okuguza naawe ogula, endagaano yimusayininga emala ennaku 14. bw'oba emaze ennaku 14 ogende oregistering emotoka eyo yoguze omumanya go. Ebiwandiiko byonna mubitwale muba licensinga motoka, tobeera nabyo eka n'ogamba nguze ndina endagaano ndi mu mateeka. Kakati poliisi twagala kukozesa ebyuma ebyaffe bikola ku nga zitandike emotoka ezo. So ekyo tekisoboka, motoka ezo temuzikyusiza mu maanyi gamwe. Ekibonerezo kinene, osobola kusasula sente nga miliyoni 6, tosooka ku miliyoni 6. Ezo sente nyingi za kusasula bw'oba garagi erina enamba za motoka tezitute mu Ministry of Works.
Tweyanzanya katwala mu kusagula ate tuwulire tuva mu Ministry ya Internal Affairs.
Okay. Okay.
I hope that doesn't become the news of the day. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome again to this press briefing. I would like to take this opportunity to inform you that the Ministry of Internal Affairs, which is in charge of borders, has maintained its surveillance on the borders, and they are operating normally. There is nothing that is of any serious interest. We have gone ahead to do joint patrols to ensure that no one enters without permission. We encourage all people to ensure that they use gazetted points of entry and to observe the standard operating procedures and to respect them if you are entering. We call upon the citizens who are continuing to vote today that do not allow non-citizens to vote. But it does not mean that people who don't look like you are the ones who are non-citizens. There are people who have got citizenship. There are those who have got citizenship by registration if they have been here for a long time. And there are those who have been here, who are here as dual citizens. They belong to other countries but also belong to Uganda. So I don't mean that anyone who has a different color. But if you know someone and he's coming from outside to come specifically to vote and he is not registered as a citizen, don't allow them to vote. The internet is back, and we have resumed all the services that are internet-based at the Ministry of Internal Affairs. You remember last time when we were here, we had a difficulty in serving you, but now internet is fully back, and we call upon those who missed their appointments to notify us so that we can say to them, but many of them have come. So we thank those who spontaneously came when internet was restored. We have foreigners who need immigration services. They should also come for them. And these immigration services include different passes, students' passes, and the visas can now also be smoothly applied for, work permits, certificates of residence, all those services. We also have passport services, and I will take a little bit of time to talk about passport services, but when you come to the Ministry of Internal Affairs, ensure that you respect standard operating procedures. there is a time when people get full and we are forced to ask people to wait to enter into the premises. The ministry, as you know, receives quite a substantial amount of people on a normal day, and we wouldn't want to have confusion inside. So we serve those who are inside quickly and allow others to come in. But all through ensure you respect the standard operating procedures. Many people who applied for passports came and got them in these few days that have passed. But we have noticed that people have reduced their attention to schedules, appointments. Ensure you follow your appointment when you want to get services from us. If they say you are supposed to be there 8 to 9, keep time. Because after that time has elapsed, 8 to 9, the assumption will be that you need to reschedule. So when you get into the compound late, it inconveniences us because it is very, very laborious to get the appointment opened again. So respect the appointment so that we serve you better. We are also asking you, the public, to desist from seeking services of middlemen, because we designed the system after we had gone through various experiences of designing other systems, and we made it for citizens so simple to the extent that there are very few things that you need to type there. The rest are for you just choose. You type there your name, your telephone number, your email, and maybe the names of your parents, and maybe your clan. The rest, you just select where you are born, you just select the district, sub-county, the parish, and the village. And for your parents as well. So it is so simple. Don't be hoodwinked by anyone that he wants to help you, that it is hard. It is very easy. The other thing is that when you there are two applications that we receive. We have the normal one, which is 250,000. So if you choose that one, you are required to make a schedule after paying. But if you ask for express, where they pay an additional 150,000, you do not require to make an appointment. In other words, you will get 2 receipts, and after paying, at your time, you can come to internal affairs. But we have people who instead look for where there is 400,000 to pay it as one lump sum. If you pay it, you lose it. You will not lose it. You will actually need to pay again for the passport separately, because there are people who, after finding that they are not finding a figure of 400,000, they look for where it is. They put express, they put official and find there is 400,000 and print that one. The official passport costs 400,000, but it goes with an office. So if you don't belong to it, to the office, like a parliamentarian, like a head of government department, you cannot have, and we can't also use that money. So we ask you to pay again, where you pay for 250 and also pay 100. Then after we have issued the passport, we ask you to go to URA and get that money back. But let us not go to that. Let us apply normally and ensure that you pay 250 separately and 150 separately. Of course, our brothers and sisters in the diaspora have a third invoice, which is for courier services, which is 10,000. So please ensure you follow that so that we don't do a lot of consultation. You know, when someone has made a mistake, you tell him the right thing, he goes to another one.